About 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
Wagwan, it's your humble host, Big Truck. Hey, shout out to the Tip Network. Show them brothers some love over there. They have some things to say. I have some things to say. And then the spirit of the universe is going to take us home. So grab your shoulder pads and your helmet, and let's get this work. Let's go.
You made a safe place for the truth to be told.
Okay, so I don't even like addressing nothing. And I think that's why it's hard for me to spit it out. I don't know why.
Hey, I just want to say this. Y'all done fucked around and found out real quick. All this was PR. If you watch her facial micros, her body language, Klay Thompson's facial micros and body language, it tells you right there. Let's continue.
Why it's so hard for me to say?
I think we've all seen this coming from miles away, and it was only a matter of due time when Klay Thompson, as well as Megan Thee Stallion, was going to finally make a break. And it finally did when the optics just did not turn out great.
How has your relationship made you better as a man on and off the floor, and how that's going to move forward for you?
Now watch his response. Keep watching. Watch his body language and facial micros. This is what your boy Big Truck be talking about.
As far as your career,
my relationship with
Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm not going to talk about that.
And what type of optics I'm talking about? Well, I'm talking about them high friction episodes that Klay Thompson was having in his extracurricular activities, where once Megan Thee Stallion uncovered his indiscretions. Well, she understood her own market volatility, translating meaning that she doesn't have that much value in her brand as much as her fans and her stands want you to believe.
She took to her Instagram story, cheating, had me around your whole family playing house, got, quote, cold feet, holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. B, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all.
That right there, great PR. Great PR work right there. This is not coming from her. All right? There is nothing loyal about Meg Thee Stallion. She ruined her own brand. She ruined her own image.
She then released a statement and said, I've made the decision to end my relationship with Klay. Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship.
Stop right there. That part right there is non-negotiable for her in a relationship and loyalty. Where the fuck was her loyalty at? To Tory Lanez. Hell, where was her loyalty to the woman she was in a relationship with? So, again,
Relationship. And when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward.
So she's taking this time to prioritize herself and move forward with peace.
Not dispute the fact that Klay Thompson has the upper hand, the leverage in this relationship, where that leverage comes in his own brand equity and him as Klay Thompson, the basketball player business.
well, he's always going to have the upper hand because he outshines Megan, period. All right? You don't hear about him in the media. He's a stand-up guy, does well in the community.
Greatly outshining Megan Thee Stallion's star power, a somewhat successful career. It pales in comparison when you hold up 4 championship rings by Klay Thompson.
You see, what happened is that Klay is at the end of his career, and Klay is looking at Meg as a financial liability, in my opinion. She wants to live that big lifestyle. She wants to do this and do that, private jets, yachts, and he has to make this money stretch for the rest of his life. It doesn't make a difference if he has $200, $300 million. We've seen the average athlete lose everything and go bankrupt. And we all know the statistics. The average athlete goes broke about 6 years after his career is over. And Klay is not the average athlete. He's a superstar. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a 4-time champion.
And what's going to happen with Klay Thompson is this. He's going to be all right. He make proper investments. He don't blow his money. Okay? Now, let's take the PR from both out of the equation. Let's get the meat and potatoes out of it. Okay? Let's just focus solely on that. Meg Thee Stallion can't fuck with Klay Thompson. She's not on his level. In order for her to keep him, she would have to conform to his program. And is that something she's willing to do with all of that spiritual, emotional baggage that she carries, especially the baggage from her childhood. Come on now. Help me make it make sense.
Looking at Meg as a financial liability and he has to cut the fat off the pro forma worksheet or something of that nature. Or he just got tired of her. She was the one coming out talking all this cash money about him. Oh, he's moody. He does this. And of course, the infidelity bomb. Ma'am, you're dating an NBA athlete superstar. Women yelling for him in every city and every town. Okay, I know you thought you were special. Everybody thinks they're special.
Exactly. But look at the shit that you do, Meg Thee Stallion. Look at what you've done. Like I said, and I'm gonna keep repeating myself. Let's take the PR out of it, because that's all this was PR. Okay? It was a fake relationship. They both agreed. They did what they needed to do to try to help Meg Thee Stallion save her brand and her image. Modern motherfuckers took to the damn internet and the shit spread like wildfire with their opinions instead of doing their damn research and looking into it. Y'all asses looked at it and then ran fucking 8 miles with it. Now you fuck around and found out. Now y'all asses is cooked because y'all modern women opened up y'all damn mouth and started talking shit. Now you got to eat that shit. Now ain't that some shit?
You found out one thing, and it always hurts you when you find out you're not that special.
We didn't know Klay Thompson before Meg Thee Stallion. We didn't know Stephon Diggs before Cardi B. And while these guys have more money than these girls have social and global influence. Meg Thee Stallion made Klay a global star.
Shut the fuck, shut. No! Oh, shit.
Bullshit. Klay Thompson made her. What was it that Meg Thee Stallion have done? I don't know. Got an innocent man in jail? You went on national TV and lied? You was with Partisan Fontaine, the rapper, then you fucked him over? I don't know. You was in a relationship with another woman and you messed her over. Your background ain't been squeaky clean. So help me make it make sense.
That Klay Thompson. His personal brand and his basketball business and all of his things that he's accomplished tilts the scale in his favor, with most of the value coming on his end. Where Klay Thompson has known to be throwing the dagger in the heart of his opponents in the basketball arena. And apparently his long storied relationships with many other ladies of the past, where Megan Thee Stallion, her hopes and her dreams were completely dashed and wanting to be a power dynamic couple. That Klay Thompson reminded
you cannot be a hoe and want to be a power dynamic with someone that lives a totally different lifestyle from the one you live. Yeah, this is good marketing business right here. This is actually going to help both of their brand. You dumb motherfucker.
I heard that he has that 3-point dagger, hitting that game-winning closeout shot, where Megan Thee Stallion had her hopes running high as she wanted to be a married woman, as seen in multiple previous episodes. But oh no, instead of becoming a permanent acquisition and becoming Klay Thompson's wife, well, she was on a short-term lease agreement.
He said it, a short-term lease agreement by your PR. Meg Thee Stallion is not wife material. She's not. I wouldn't marry her. The average man, good man, athlete or not, or whatever the case may be, would not sign up for that. That's a fucking walking headache. That's a walking liability. I'm trying to told you. She has unresolved childhood issues, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You can look at her and tell. She has an evil spirit on her. She's sneaky, conniving, deceitful. You cannot look at her and not see that.
I'm just saying my advice to her would have been, hey, just don't get your nose a little too open, unless he shows you otherwise, because he is an NBA player, he's still outside.
Not towards Megan, but just the question. Does settle down mean settle?
No.
Yeah.
To me, settle down means we're going to choose each other and stop talking to other people.
This whole idea with Megan Thee Stallion, I think her reputation precedes her. And because her reputation precedes her, when things go a certain way, you don't get the good fortune of it.
Stop making your relationships public. Stop doing it, bro.
Where many NBA.
Now, I understand where Brother Cameron and Brother Mace are coming from. And shout out to them as well. All right? But again, we got to understand and we have to make it clear that this was a PR move by her representatives and his representatives. Okay? And the sports and entertainment field, this has been done all the time. They do this all the time. So this is nothing new. They put two odd people together to help build their brand, build their image, and when it's done, they part ways.
From the past have succumbed under Klay Thompson's three-point shot. Well, you got him striking once again in his long line of situationships. So yes, I understand Megan Thee Stallion howdy fans. Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion's out there making the rounds. She's going on concerts, she's going out on tours, but you can't beat 4 championship rings that Klay Thompson brings right to the door.
Basketball. Well, I mean, if you're scoring 37 points in the quarter, I'm taking hoops.
14 years in the NBA.
He's over.
How many rings?
He's over $300 million.
He's made over $300 million in the league. How many rings? You've all assumed a man who makes $300 million and has 4 championship rings and run around with Steph ain't out here bagging joints.
Facts. What a terrible.
Y'all made that up
Yeah.
out of, I don't know why.
Because Meg is a big deal, and you go, oh, wow, you're with Meg. This looks cool.
You know what a bigger deal is? $300 million, 4 NBA rings, and playing on national television.
On the Warriors, by the way.
On the Warriors.
And you know what's another big deal? Meg Thee Stallion being with him to help her damn brand, to help her image, because she single-handedly tarnished, destroyed her own image. So her PR came in there and said, this would be a good look for you. We'll go on ahead, we'll paint the narrative. If you being this woman, you being wifey material, because you know you don't see them, you never once saw them two out shopping, doing things. I think a couple of times golf. And at one of her fundraisers. But you never see them two as boyfriend and girlfriend out. Don't that ring a bell to you?
So even if Klay Thompson has stepped out of bounds and allegedly cheated, since we only have Megan Thee Stallion's word against his, it just goes to show all of us polite savages and lady polite savages that Klay Thompson's always had the ultimate leverage and having the exit authority to leave whenever he wants to, whether he wants to step out of bounds or not, because there was actually, I don't know about y'all, but was there an exclusivity contract between them two?
All of a sudden that y'all broke up, now all of these things happen. But where was all this energy when you were cooking for him with mom and dad and posting everything on Instagram? We didn't even know who Klay Thompson was.
My brother. My brother. He's speaking. He gets it. He gets it. You modern feminist women went on social media. Those that follow Meg Thee Stallion went in there and y'all fuck around and found out real quick it was not what y'all thought. Once again, stop trying to compete with men. Stop trying to bash men. Because every time you do, you lose.
It was before her. Klay Thompson had $100 million before you ever knew Meg Thee Stallion existed. Yeah. Klay Thompson scored 60 points off 11 dribbles. That's more impressive than anything Meg has ever done. It's more impressive than anything most humans have ever done. Also. And he's also a 4-time NBA champ, so Klay Thompson is him. But also, keep this private business private. Implying that he cheated on you, implying that he can't be monogamous, implying all of these things. Why did we need to know this? Keep the private in-house business in-house. Now you...
I'm going to go a step further. A large number of black women need to keep their fucking relationship and their marriage private. If you got problems, stop taking this shit to the internet, looking for validation, looking for some outside help. Be a fucking adult and work on your own damn problems at home between you and your significant other. Can you handle that? Can you do that? Because when you open up your mouth and you go on social media, and you start airing out your business, now here comes all of this mess. Then people start putting in their problems and putting in their emphasis. Ha! Now you got a problem. Ha! Keep your damn fucking mouth shut. Ha! When it comes to your relationships and or your marriage, keep them shits behind closed doors. Can a church get an amen?
Just made you and Klay's business everybody's business.
Maybe Meg doesn't know how to handle situations and handle breakups appropriately because it's always somebody else's fault. And she comes straight up and down and starts engaging in image destruction of the person that she was with before. Either she's lying about a relationship or this person is horrible. Her best friend is not her best friend anymore. It's a lot of chaos going around. And Klay just doesn't seem like he's a person who wants chaos. I mean, let's put it in a financial term. You don't want to get on a volatile market because when the market goes up and goes down, it goes up and goes down all the time. You got to be really good to play that type of market. That's why a lot of people, they play the S&P 500. They play it safe. Why do you play it safe? Well, you should really play it safe when it comes down to your relationships. Why? Because relationships are the number one thing. If you take it too far, if you sign that contract, if you stand up on that church in front of the state, if you really go there, then you could lose a whole lot in a very short time.
Megan Thee Stallion says that Klay Thompson didn't want to be monogamous. So did they have that serious conversation about them being faithful to each other and being exclusive? It actually makes me wonder, makes me think, maybe it was Megan Thee Stallion didn't actually fulfill her end of the bargain to secure that exclusivity in their verbal contract and commitment to being boyfriend and girlfriend, eventually to fiance and fiance, and then eventually to husband and wife.
Or did his PR told him to pull the plug? Because whatever's coming Meg Thee Stallion's way, you don't need no parts of it. Or did the other side ask him to do something and he said no? So it can easily be spun in different ways from different angles. Let's continue.
Hey, if you agree with my assessment, make sure you hit that hype button, help promote this video, and hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. When it comes down to it, they're both personal brands of both business in their own respects. This right here is great for the optics, where people were, or at least in Megan Thee Stallion's fans, were cheering her on. But oh no, did none of us suspect that Klay Thompson was an absolute game-winning clincher killer out there, as he has shown on the courts.
I felt like it was the first time I saw her actually really submit to a situation. Right. She had other relationships, but this kind of felt like maybe she kind of like locked it down a bit differently.
There was nothing to submit. There was nothing to lock down. She's not relationship material. And if y'all follow Meg Thee Stallion, why don't you give that sister some advice? Tell her to get some help. Tell her to get some therapy. Tell her to change her mindset. Do away with your hoish ways and your Jezebel ways. Get saved. Get your affairs in order. Because that's what real friends do. That's what real fans do.
His persona, gives off the opposite, or what he shows us gives off the opposite.
Y'all don't know y'all persona. Y'all don't know this man.
Not at all. People looked at him as like the cookie cutter good guy.
Don't nobody know us. Don't nobody know nobody on the internet. Like, they just know what you see.
She definitely thought she was gonna have a powerhouse power dynamic.
I'm gonna stop right there. Those are two different individuals with two different personalities, two different backgrounds. How the fuck you think they gonna work? Like I said, take PR out of it. Let's get the meat and potatoes out of it. How the fuck you thought that was going to work? Tell me. Please leave it in the comments if you agree or disagree. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the hype button, like and share the video. You could look into her eyes and tell darkness, evilness. Klay Thompson, he's humble. That man ain't about all of that. She ain't about all of that. Klay Thompson has more options than Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion, when it comes to her love life, it's always been suspect. But when it comes to Klay Thompson's love life, you rarely hear anything because that's how private he is.
Power couple merger between her and Klay Thompson, but it just goes to show you that Klay Thompson's got the run of the gamut of whoever he wants to date, whoever he wants to like, whoever he wants to engage in activities with.